Happy July 4th, and as we find ourselves together this morning in a podcast conversation entitled Seasons, I want to offer you a happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Let us today embrace the gift of religious freedom in our nation, what the Lord has gifted us with, as we are free to worship the Lord in all the ways that He has blessed us with in our nation. This week we find ourselves in a conversation about a season of change. Yesterday, we talked about what we can learn from the season of change. And on these Wednesdays and Thursdays within this podcast series, we've talked a lot about not only what we can learn from the seasons, but what they attempt to accomplish in us. And the season of change does a lot within us if we allow it, if we allow ourselves to learn those lessons, to prepare us for the other seasons in life. And here's the lesson, you might say, or here's what it's trying to accomplish in us for the rest of our lives. If we can give ourselves to the Lord, if we can trust that He is trying to bless us, to form us inside that season, we'll learn that life is bigger than us, you might say. Life is going to take us in a lot of different directions, and you can't fight the rhythm of life. If there's any one thing that a season of change can teach us, is that we can't fight the rhythm of life. I want you to imagine that you are you're in a river, and that river has lots of momentum. That river is moving quickly downstream, and you're safe in the river. There's nothing in the river that's going to harm you. And if you try to fight the movement of the water, if you try to swim upstream, you're going to spend a lot of energy doing that. And if you try to swim upstream, you're eventually going to get so tired and fatigued that you'll give up, and the river is going to just take you where it wants to take you anyway. Sometimes in that situation, especially if there's safety in the water, you just kind of let yourself, just let the river take you wherever the river is going to take you. I do believe that we need to be intentional in life. I do believe that we need to stay engaged with the Lord, and we need to be docile and let the Lord take us where He wants to take us. But life is going to throw you some curveballs, and it's kind of like the movement of the water. At some point, if we try to fight life, if we try to fight the seasons, if we try to fight the aging process, if we try to fight the different stages of development, if we try to fight life, we're eventually going to get tired, maybe even bitter, and eventually life is going to take us where it wants to take us anyway. Instead of fighting life, instead of fighting the seasons, it's important just to kind of let life kind of take you where it's going to take you. Let the rhythm, the seasons of life do what they're going to do. And that's what a season of change can actually teach us. If we can learn, as we said yesterday, not to grasp, if we can learn how to let go, to not be pinned in by anything, not to be possessed by anything, then what will happen is as we get older, we won't fight getting older. As we go through empty nests, we won't fight going through empty nests. As we hit midlife, we're not going to fight midlife. See, that's what I'm saying. Change is going to happen. It's a part of the rhythm of life. It's part of that river, you might say. And it's trying to accomplish in us a docility to the rhythm of life rather than try to control the plans that we have. Enjoy this Independence Day and allow the Lord to touch your heart and ask for the freedom, the interior freedom, to embrace the season that you're in, to not fight change, but to find the Lord with you in it. And that's where we're going to go tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to find God with us in the season of being changed. And then we're going to wrap up not only this week, but this entire podcast series on Saturday. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow. Enjoy today. Enjoy being with your family or friends or whoever you're going to be with on the 4th of July. And God bless you.